Right then guys, how's it going? And welcome back to your football predictions, the series where we try and predict all of the upcoming Premier League football. I hope you're all doing great. Hope you're enjoying the weekend of FA Cup football going on at the minute. It's just turned half time in the Crawley Leeds game that I was watching, so I thought I would be early for a change and get this video ready for you guys. I think Man City are winning 3-0 against Birmingham as well. But anyway, Premier League football. We are going to be predicting the games coming up this week. But first, let's take a look at my predictions from the last weekend of Premier League football. Feels like ages ago now. It what was it, a week ago? A week and a few days ago. And I had a good week for a change. I got 2 correct scores. I was right that Manchester United would beat Aston Villa 2-1, and I was right that Crystal Palace would beat Sheffield United 2-0. I also got 5 correct outcomes in total as well. So as I say, not a bad week for me. As always, you guys did very well. Also, we had about 5 or so people who got 2 correct scores as well, but just 2 people got 3 correct scores, and they are this week's winners. They are Manesh and Andrew. So well done to you two. I had loads of comments on the last video, so thank you to you guys for getting involved. As I say, these were the only 2 who managed to get 3 correct scores. So well done to you. And remember, if you want to be shouted out in my next predictions video, which will be Friday, be sure to get your predictions down below for this week's games. The Premier League starts up on Tuesday, and it's on every night or every day for 9 days in a row. If you do fantasy football, you'll probably know about this because it's a double game week where basically all the teams or a lot of the teams are playing twice. So there's a lot of football. So the way I'm doing it is I'm going to do this week's football, but I'm going to come back on Friday and do the weekend and then the next week as well. So this will be a short video because we've only got 6 games to look at today for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then, as I say, I'll be back Friday morning to shout out the winner and go through the weekend's games. So, as I say, predictions down below, but let's go through the games now. So, as I say, Tuesday, 6 o'clock on Sky, we've got the first game, which is Sheffield United taking on Newcastle. So, Sheffield United did get a win yesterday against Bristol Rovers in the FA Cup, which was more than Newcastle could do, losing against Arsenal in extra time. But as we know, in terms of Premier League football, Sheffield United are not having a great season. 20th place, 2 points, no wins in the Premier League. They are 12 points away from Brighton in 17th, which is now 4 wins. I speak about it every week. You know, maybe the FA Cup win might give them a little boost going into this one, but they are having a really, really tough season at the moment. And is there an end in sight? I mean, they may well pull one off against Newcastle. It wouldn't surprise us, but in terms of actually getting out of the relegation zone, I mean, it's going to be really tough. In terms of Newcastle, as I say, we lost in the FA Cup against Arsenal. Lost in extra time. I had my Brucey rant last week, so I'll give it a miss this time round. But not great. And to be honest, the last few games, in the last 5 Premier League games, Newcastle have lost 3 and drawn 2. In fairness, some praise where it's due. 0-0 against Liverpool. It was like a different team turned up. Matty Longstaff, who we've not seen in forever, played amazingly. And you're thinking, why have we been hiding this lad away? Great result there. In a game where I expected us to get thumped. Unfortunately, however, we'll come back after that and play Leicester in the last Premier League game we played, and we'll lose when we'll just it's just what team walks onto the pitch. It seems it changes every time. Prediction wise, I have backed Newcastle 1-0, but it would not surprise me if Sheffield United beat us. It's typical Newcastle will go and draw 0-0 against Liverpool. The team who are top of the league have been fantastic all season, and then we'll lose against Sheffield United. I'm hoping not, so I've backed the tune, but yeah, let me know what you think down below. Moving on, still on the Tuesday, but at 8:15 on Sky, we have got Burnley taking on Manchester United. Burnley currently sitting in 16th place, 5 points clear of the drop zone at the minute, and as I've already said, have seriously turned their season around. The last 5 games, they've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1. I mean, I've just said there, Newcastle are, well, they're only 3 points ahead of them now. You know, Burnley have really pulled it back. They also won their FA Cup game on penalties in the end against Milton Keynes, so they're through to the next round. Maybe would have hoped to have done it in normal time, but there you go. And their game, their last Premier League game, got postponed, so we don't actually have a result. Or when I was doing the predictions, I couldn't actually mark anyone on that one because that was one of the games that didn't go ahead. Hopefully this one does. Hopefully there is no postponements moving into the Premier League. I know there was one this weekend. I think the Southampton-Shrewsbury game got postponed because of COVID. So hopefully we're set for Premier League games going forward this week. Manchester United, they are currently sitting in 2nd place. They're actually joint points with Liverpool after Liverpool. Was it a surprise? I don't know what you guys think. I backed them to beat Southampton in the last game, but they lost 1-0. So Manchester United are now on joint points, and this is their game in hand. So they can actually go 3 points ahead of Liverpool and to the top of the league if they are able to beat Burnley. Manchester United have been busy because they played in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup the other night and lost against Manchester City. So they won't be happy about that, but they'll definitely take their chance here if they can to get to the top of the league. And they beat Watford yesterday in the FA Cup. So as I say, there is so much football going on. Predictions. I've backed Manchester United 2-0. They have played more football than Burnley recently. They obviously had a postponement, then they played the game against Milton Keynes. Manchester United played the game, played a League Cup semi-final, played an FA Cup, and are now playing again. Will there be more rotation there? Who knows? But yeah, that's what I've gone for. Let me know what you think down below. Next up, again on the Tuesday, again at 8:15 and on Sky, we have got Wolves taking on Everton. Wolves sitting in 13th place in the last 5 games, have won 1, lost 2 and drawn 2. So maybe not the greatest form in recent weeks. 13th place. They are 7 points behind 4th. Yeah, so a win in this game and a win in the next, and they could be back in the top 5 or 6. So it just shows how close the league is. 13th doesn't sound great. The form recently hasn't been the best, but they could turn it around very quickly. In the last few games, they lost against Manchester United, which I remember talking about when they conceded the last-minute goal, and then they drew 3-3 with Brighton. That was a game I predicted 1-1 and said there probably wouldn't be too many goals. And it was 3-3, so I strike again. And they also won their FA Cup game on Friday against Crystal Palace. So, got some goals in the Brighton game. Did I say Brighton? It was Brighton they drew with. They got some goals in the Brighton game. They beat Crystal Palace. Now coming in against an Everton side who are currently sitting in 7th place, just 4 points off the top spot. Again, we've spoken about this. Everton started the season so well and then went on a run of like 4 or 5 losses not too long ago and have now turned it around again. In their last 5 have won 4 and just lost their last Premier League game against West Ham 1-0 before beating Rotherham yesterday in the FA Cup. So, in terms of form, I'd back Everton. And the thing is with Wolves, they're still missing the main man, Jimenez. I mean, they managed to put 3 goals against Brighton, so there's no reason they can't score goals without him, but it's not going to be as easy without him. It could well be a tight game, and I jinxed myself when I went 1-1 last time because it was 3-3. But I am going to put a winner on it. I'm going to put Everton 2-1. As I say, their form has been really good. They did lose that 1-0 against West Ham. But yeah, Everton 2-1. Moving on to the Wednesday now at 6 o'clock on BT Sport. We've got Manchester City taking on Brighton. Man City are in 5th place. Just 4 points off the top spot and with 2 games in hand. Obviously, depending on what happens in the Manchester United game, they may well... they could still go second if they won this game, as long as they scored more than 5, which, to be honest, it's Man City. It's possible. But what I was going to say is that they didn't start the season great. You know, they are still a fantastic side, but for their standards, didn't start as well as they'd hoped. But have now not lost in the Premier League in 7 games, have won their last 3 Premier League games in a row. They won the Carabao semi-final earlier in the week against Manchester United, and as I say, are currently beating Birmingham, I think 3-0 in the FA Cup right now. So yeah, it's safe to say that in if recent form is anything to go off, they've definitely woken up. Taking on Brighton, who I already mentioned briefly, 17th place, 3 points ahead of the relegation zone, which doesn't sound that bad, but the problem is it's Fulham who are just below them and have 2 games in hand. And I mean, you'd probably rather have the points in the games in hand because neither of those teams have been winning recently, but they've got to be looking over their shoulder at the minute and feeling a little bit stressed. And I mentioned that Manchester City hadn't lost in 7. Brighton haven't won in 8 Premier League games now. I mean, in the last 5, they've drawn 4. And I'm just looking here. I just got a notification. Crawley winning 2-0. Brighton, in the last 5, have drawn 4. So it's points on the board, but they need to start picking up wins to try and pull away from this relegation zone. They also play today as well, later on, against Newport County in the FA Cup. So maybe if they can pull a win off there, hopefully it'll give us some much needed confidence going in against Man City, who, as I say, have been playing really good recently. So I have backed them 3-0. Is that too much? Let me know what you think down below. Next up again on the Wednesday, but at 8:15 on Sky, we have got Aston Villa taking on Spurs. Aston Villa currently sitting in 8th place, just 3 points off 4th. That 4th place spot belongs to Spurs at the moment, so could we see Villa potentially go ahead of them, depending on how many goals they score and if they won. If Spurs were to win this game, they could potentially leap into 3rd place, again depending on other results. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. Villa's recent form, last 5 Premier League games, have won 2, drawn 2 and lost 1, which was against Manchester United, as I mentioned earlier. And they also lost their FA Cup game on Friday against Liverpool 4-1, but they did play second team. They played all the kids, who actually did pretty well, and one of them got a debut goal. So well done to him. Spurs currently sitting in 4th, as I've already said, could potentially go to 3rd depending on other results. Their recent form, I would say, has definitely improved. Again, Spurs was another team who kind of went up then went down. I mean, the last 5, maybe I'm talking rubbish. In the last 5, they've lost 2, drawn 2 and won 1. So Villa's form is actually better than Spurs. However, they did go and win the Carabao Cup semi-final the other night to put them in against Brentford as well. So annoying, because Newcastle lost to Brentford. We could have been in the semi-final, and then Spurs have now gone on and gone to play in the final against Man City. Newcastle haven't won a cup in forever. But anyway, well done to them. You know what I think, and we've all seen the Amazon documentary, Mourinho's talk about the winning mentality, getting themselves to a final like that, I think will give them a big boost going into this Villa game. And they did put 3 past Leeds in the last Premier League game as well. So although their recent form may not be as good, this is a tough one. I'm gonna... I could easily sit on the fence here, you know. I'm gonna back Spurs 2-1, but I think Villa could really put up a good fight here and possibly even take 3 points. Spurs are definitely not Newcastle, but sometimes when they walk on the pitch, you're not quite sure what you're gonna get. And if they're on their form and playing the way we know they can, with Kane and Son linking up, I think they could very well win this game. But if Villa press them and put on a good display, it could be the other way. And to finish things off, Thursday night at 8 o'clock on Sky, we've got Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. So Arsenal sitting in 11th place, 6 points off 4th. You know, we always believed in Arteta. We knew he was going to turn it around and he was going to sort it all out. I never lost faith. You know, a win in this game could very quickly where could it put them? 8th and then 3 points off 4th, you know. And Arsenal's recent form, they've won the last 3 Premier League games in a row, and as I say, beat Newcastle in the FA Cup yesterday. In terms of Crystal Palace, they're currently sitting in 14th place, 7 points off 4th. 14th place is just 2 wins and a draw away from 4th. You know, it's so tight, except for the bottom 3 or bottom 4. Unfortunately, Newcastle aren't too far ahead of that. But yeah, Crystal Palace, decent season of the season so far. They've won 6, drawn 4, lost 7. So, you know, it's kind of across the board, a bit middly. That's why they're in 14th. They did beat Sheffield United in the last Premier League game. However, they lost against Wolves in their FA Cup game this weekend. So, predictions on that? I've put Arsenal 1-0. I don't know. I put Arsenal 1-0 against West Brom for last weekend and they won 4-0. So are they going to go and prove me they can do even better again? Or is Crystal Palace going to have a say about that and maybe they could get something from this game? I don't know. I've gone 1-0. Let me know what you think down below. And that is it, guys. So those are my predictions up there for this week's games. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. As I say, I will go through all of your predictions before the first game kicks off on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And make a note of all of your predictions. And I will shout out the winner on Friday morning when I come back to predict the weekend's games as well. As I say, 9 days in a row of football, so I'm looking forward to it. Basically, when you put the telly on, there will be football on, which I like. And it means we've got a lot of football games to predict as well, which I'm excited for. So, predictions down below for these games going on through the week. I'll be back Friday morning to predict the weekend's football. And we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week. I think I'm going to do a fantasy football video tomorrow as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But thank you all for watching as always. If not, I'll see you on Friday. And I'll catch you later.